What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm here today to preview Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Now, Spyro Reignited Trilogy comes out on PS4 and Xbox One on November 13th. So this is another game franchise, much like Crash Bandicoot, that's getting this kind of remaster, but more than remaster, a complete remake of the game. And I'm quite excited for this one. I honestly feel like I was more excited for Crash, but that's just my personal preference. That's what I grew up on being a PlayStation gamer. It wasn't Spyro, it was Crash. Now, what I can tell you is I will be getting Spyro Reignited Trilogy the day it comes out. So I am excited for this game, and I do have really nice memories of me playing this game, and this is a really nice story, and again dating back to Crash Bandicoot, because this isn't possible without the success that Vicarious Visions had with Crash Bandicoot. When they did the Crash Bandicoot remake and they completely remade those three games, not only did it sell outstanding and it did absolutely amazing in that way, but it brought people back. It not only brought back people that played the game in the past, and that's very important, and that's very important with Spyro as well, because that's something that a game developer really needs to keep in mind when it comes to this kind of remake. You're looking to get the people that used to play this game. That's ultimately, why you're remaking in the first place, is because of the fond memories that people have, that it's a big enough franchise that you can bring it back. And Spyro is one of those. I mean, the game looks absolutely beautiful, much like Crash did. And the work that they did with Crash is honestly what I'm expecting with Spyro. I'm expecting the game to just look outstanding, and everything we've seen from the gameplay and trailers of Spyro has looked really, really good. And, not only, again, like I said, we're not only looking to get people that had played this game in the past, but you're also looking to get new people. I mean, this is a franchise, just like any franchise, you don't just want to get the people that used to play the game, you want to get people that are going to jump in and be new players and fall in love with a franchise nowadays. And I think that really, really worked with Crash, because, I mean, that game sold outstanding. There's rumors of future things with Crash Bandicoot, which I do want to talk about in future Gamescast topics, so you guys can look forward to soon. But with Spyro, I assume it's the same thing. You do not just do this. Yes, it looks good for them. It looks good for Activision that they're giving us all of these old time heroes or characters that we really liked and appreciated back in the day. That's one thing, and that's a good way to build up the way that people look at you in terms of Activision. They gave us Crash, and they did a fantastic job, and people really appreciated that. And then they waited and they said, okay, well, Crash did insanely well. What's another one that we own that people also really love back in the day? Well, that's Spyro. They give us Spyro. You're getting brownie points from people, but that's ultimately not really the reason. That's part of the reason, but it's not the full reason. I mean, ultimately, it's money. It's growing a property. And I assume that's what they're going to expect here. They're expecting Spyro to do really, really well, and hopefully well enough to bring new people in and make the game franchise big, and then say, well, hey, we can make a new game. We can make a new Spyro for you, and then go from there. We can re-kick this thing back into gear. And people deserve that. Just like I said last year when Crash came out, people that have been waiting for this or have loved Crash back in the day, such as me, we've been waiting for an opportunity like this. We've been waiting for a chance to show that, yes, there is still enough people that like Crash. We'll support your remakes, your remasters, your whatever, to get a new game. We want new games. And same thing with Spyro. There's a big Spyro community out there, and they will buy this game. They'll buy this collection. They'll play it, and then they'll show that, yes, we're ready, and there's a big enough group of us that we will support a brand new Spyro game. And, this game is going to, I think, do really, really well. I really am not worried about this game at all. Spyro games were always pretty darn good. The original voice actor of Spyro is coming back to re-record lines and do some extra stuff too. So overall, I mean, this game is just looking solid. Here's the only problem, and I like to talk about this when I do the previews, is I like to talk about how I think it's going to do financially, and that's the only problem. And I just went off for the last 3-4 minutes talking about it needs to do good enough to show that there can be a new Spyro game afterwards. Well, here's the problem, is the time that the game comes out. It's probably one of the worst times you could possibly release a game, and I'd say it's not their fault, but they actually delayed it. It was supposed to come out September 21st, which would have been 2 weeks after Spider-Man and 1 week after Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So that's an okay spot. It's not the best spot in the world, but it's an okay spot. Now it comes out, like I said, November 13th. The problem is it is sandwiched in so many games. It's coming out a couple weeks, just 2 weeks after Red Dead Redemption 2. It's coming out just a few days, 3 days before Fallout 76. It comes out at the same-ish time as Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu on the Nintendo Switch. It comes out at the same time as Hitman 2. It comes out a week after Overkill's The Walking Dead. It comes out a week before Battlefield 5. There's a ton of games that I just mentioned. That's pretty much almost every big game of the rest of the year, other than I didn't mention Call of Duty and stuff, but that's too kind of pushed back. That's earlier in October. But every big game that's coming out between October and November, Spyro, I feel like, is competing with. And no, not everybody who's going to play Spyro is going to play Fallout, and not everybody that's going to play Spyro is going to play Red Dead. But, there is a substantial I think there's an overlap there. I do think a lot of people that play Red Dead Redemption is going to get general people to go get it. Fallout is going to get somewhat general people, but a lot of Fallout players. But, people don't have unlimited amounts of money. You can't buy every single one of these games. And so that's just where I worry about Spyro, is I feel like it's coming out at a really, really bad time. However, the price, it's not a full price game. It's only $40. That really, really helps the game. I think that does make it a little bit nicer. Comes out still right before Black Friday, so they could always do a Black Friday sale to help it. I'm hoping that the game sells really, really well. Crash did outstanding, and not only sold well here, but in the UK, it sold amazing. It was like number one on their charts of selling games for almost like 2 months. So it did, and now that was over the summer, and it had no competition whatsoever, where Spyro, has competition. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to compare. And I'm not going to say, Crash is better than Spyro is better than Crash. And I think it's going to be unfair to measure how much they each sell. But I do think Crash is going to outsell Spyro. I don't think Spyro is going to sell as much as Crash. I personally am more of a Crash fan. I've always liked Crash more. But I just think overall, Spyro's in a tough spot with when it's coming out. But overall, I'm very much looking forward to the game. I'm going to be live streaming it. We're going to have a couple videos out on the game the week it comes out, the second week. It'll be along with Fallout, ironically, because we'll also be getting that. So there'll be some things on Spyro, and I'm very excited to play it. And I hope people come out and support that game, because, again, Spyro fans really deserve a new Spyro game, and this is how you get it. This is how you get that game, is by supporting the Reignited Trilogy. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think of Spyro? Do you like the franchise? Are you going to be picking up this game? What do you think about its release date? Let me know. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. We do previews like this on games, movies, and TV shows every single week. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next game preview.